can taste your words. I can taste your.
Welcome to the Easy Answer Podcast. I'm Brandy, plant-based chef.
And I'm Vonanise, plant-based adjacent.
On this podcast, we explore thought-provoking conversations around food
and simple ways to stay healthy in this crazy world.
Hey, Vaughn.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How's your day going so far?
It's excellent. I can say that. It's going to be a little hot today, but, it's still good.
Cool. I mean, well, it's summer in New York, right? We expect it to be hot. And we've been lucky this year. Like, we've had a very mild summer considering.
The week of humidity where I was schwitzing, I do not consider that
1 week versus 3 months.
Okay. I get your point. But today is going to be like a really humid day. It's not just hot. It's like hot
and humid. I know.
I
didn't run early, so I'm kind of dreading my afternoon run because, it's going to be nasty out there.
Yeah, there's no need for that then. You're nasty, So, Brandy, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You're in a relationship with someone.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know that your relationship has hit the next level?
Are we talking about a romantic relationship? Or are we talking about a friendship?
A romantic relationship.
How do you know it's hit the next level? I don't know. When they think that it's okay to share toothbrushes?
Toothbrushes? Ew. Whoever shares toothbrushes? Well, that's a whole other topic we need to talk about. All the bacteria in your mouth and how you don't need to be sharing toothbrushes. Okay, now this is going to be hot. Okay? I was reading something that said that you know that your relationship is ready when you feel like you can have a bodily function in their house or in your house when they're there.
Okay. So when you can poop, pretty much, the people who don't know what bodily function, because there are lots of bodily functions that happen, especially in the relationships, right? So when you poop when your partner, significant other, whatever is present, that's when you know you've gone to level next.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I agree with the word, but like, yes.
Like what word?
Like poop. Like what can we say? We can say like number 2,
Okay, number 2. I mean, you could call it what it is, but it's not really pretty. I mean, I feel like poop is better than bowels, right?
Ew, all of it.
Like bowels sounds like, yeah. But like poop, it's like when you're a kid. It's just like, oh, you gotta go poo. You know what I mean? It's like they try to make it cute.
I mean, I know that like doctors discourage you against using those type of phrases when it comes to bodily functions because you don't want to shame children. But I just feel like, I just don't want to talk about it, and definitely not with a significant other. And definitely, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be about it. I don't want to know when you go in there. I don't want to smell anything when you come out. I don't want to see any residue on the toilet. Okay. Mm-hmm. I definitely have a whole, make sure my toilet is clean when you are done,
I agree, but like you said, but it has to happen. Like there's this whole, I don't get this whole like, oh, I know women who believe that you should not like poop in front of your partner or your partner shouldn't see you shouldn't know that you poop. And I think that's nuts because, we've had this conversation.
I'm one of those women.
Yeah. And I'm the person who's like,
talk around me because I'm not ashamed about who I am, Brandy. Okay?
I love that. Okay. I mean, but you're not alone. That's why I'm saying, like, you're not alone. There are other people who feel that way. Me, on the other hand, I really think, like, if you're not pooping, I'm concerned about your colon. Like, I really am concerned because I think about this lesson in health. I'm telling you, when I was in health class and, in school, and my teacher talked about how it's like your body has to release this waste. And if it doesn't release the waste, it has to come out somewhere. So I always envision it coming out the other end. And I prefer it to come out the proper end to excrete all that trash from my body. So for me, like it's a really important process, and I really like struggle when people don't do it. Now, I 100% agree with you on I don't want to smell it. I don't want to see residue of it. Like all that stuff, hands down. You should go into the bathroom, do your do, and come out, and we just continue moving on. We assume that because you were in there a little longer, you were probably not just doing number one, if we call them number one, number two. But I don't want to know about it. But I need to know that you're doing it at least daily.
I mean, I don't ever want to know about it. I don't need to know that you're doing it daily. I pray that, you know, the brother's safe and how he's functioning in this world. I think about my friend, her mother, they had been married when we were like in college, and her and her husband were married at that point for like 15 years. And we said to her, like, what's the secret? Like, how do you stay? She was like, two, like separate toilets. She said, you have to have separate toilets. She was just like, and I don't fart around him. And we were like, really? She was like, because it sort of ruins the mystery in the marriage. Like, why does he need to know? Like, everyone knows that it happens. Like, it's something that, you know, but he doesn't need to know when it happens. She was like, I'm not intentionally farting around him. And that really stuck with me, you know. And I was reading this other article in like Allure magazine, and this man had got divorced after like 5 years of marriage. And he had the things that he wouldn't do if he could do it all over, what he would do over. He said he would definitely close the bathroom door because it ruins the mystery in your marriage.
I don't think
I need to know.
But that has nothing to do with mystery and marriage. That just has to do with common decency and good upbringing. Who leaves the door open when they go into the bathroom, married or not? Like, close the freaking door. No one wants to see what's going on.
Some people are very intimate in their relationships, and they want to know and do everything about it, and it does not affect how they're attracted to a person. Me, on the other hand, my thinking is this, and excuse my French, I'm not going to want to tap that if I know too much. Okay? Like,
I
and
just don't want to smell your poop
the same way that you're attracted to me.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, listen, whatever works for your marriage or relationship, that's cool. What is it? Leaving, closing the door, not farting in front of them. But ultimately, you're gonna fart, right? That's just part of life. You're gonna poop.
True. I mean, I can't help the ones that creep out when I'm sleeping, but I can't help the ones that are there when I'm, you know, and then, you know, the dog's not always around, so I can't always pretend like it was the dog.
Oh my God.
So whatever. Just keep the lady like.
Yeah. No, like I get it. I'm not out here saying like, you know, I'm gonna poop with the door open. I'm not, none of these things, like, hands down. All I'm saying is that I just want us to be very comfortable with the idea and the conversations with our partners. Like, we're talking about relationships going to the next level. If you talk about next level, you're talking about potentially being with this person for life. This person is going to be a part of your long-term plan. Me personally, I want to make sure that you're healthy, because whatever health conditions you have as your partner, I'm going to have to deal with. And if I can ensure that at the very least, you're moving waste out of your body, that's potentially going to help us to mitigate some of those health conditions that I may have to deal with over the long term. So for me, it's important to know.
I understand what you're saying. I remember once one of my girlfriends was dating this guy, right? And they were like getting serious. And so they go on a trip together, they come back, and she's just like, oh my God, he's so great. I love him so much. So he spent the night at her house, and then she made him breakfast in the morning, right? So then he goes home. This is so gross. He goes home, he goes to the bathroom and sends her a text message with a picture to show her what he did in the bathroom, to say, babe, your food was so good, I had to get it out of me as soon as possible. See how it kept me regular? And honestly, she never really said that it was the indication that their relationship was over. However, I stopped hearing about him after that.
Yes. Now listen, I appreciate his excitement about the fact that his girl keeps him regular, because that's important. Right? No, it is important. That is good.
A picture of what
No,
was in the
no.
toilet?
Let me finish my comment. However, I don't need to see the proof of your excitement. You understand? Like the conversation was enough. Thanks, babe. Like, you kept whatever. Like whatever they want to do, that's cool. But like, I don't need a picture of it. We know what it kind of looks like, and we're not interested in documentation of it long term. But guys, I think this is a cool conversation for us to bring in Dr. Lloyd to have give her perspective on the importance of poop, her thought process about what it looks like with couples and all that kind of good stuff. So we're gonna bring her in, bring her back because she's been here before, and have her join the conversation. So welcome, Dr. Lloyd.
Hi.
Welcome back.
How are
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. This is such a scintillating topic. All right. I see you guys are covering all the basics.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I think, thank you, first of all, Brandy, and hi, Vaughn. Thank you so much for having me back. I always look forward to being with you guys because you keep it real. Really, nobody wants to know the details. It's like TMI, right?
Thank you.
However, we have to be regular. We want to always be regular because most diseases start in the gut. So we always want to be regular, and that means like we need to poo at least twice a day. So
Twice,
all my
like in one
clients,
day.
twice, yes, is the recommended amount of times, 2 to 3 times. You should be going 2 to 3 times a day. So whenever clients come in for a consultation here with me or at the wellness center, I always ask them, it's on my questionnaire, how many times do you poo? And I put the poo in like
Question.
yeah, that's one of the questions because I need to know if you're constipated. That could be the cause of the ailment. So I need to know how many times you're going, and then I go into details. I ask, how is it? Is it
Really?
firm? Is it watery? I need to know the details because I need to know what's going on with their digestive system in order to make recommendations. So, with husband and wife, it's TMI, but with me, I need the details so I can tell you what's going on with you.
But doesn't it gross you out to hear it? Tell the truth.
No, but some people do go on long after, that, I've asked the question, I'm ready for the next question, and they're still going on about it. So I have to, nicely tell them, okay. And then some people come back the other day, like, there's some clients that come every time they come. They want to tell me like they visit the juice bar every time and they come to the back. Yeah, I went today and it was like I don't need that's TMI. At that point, it's TMI because, like, really, I might be eating and they're like, yeah, I just wanted to tell you, I'm like, okay, I'm eating. But they're so excited that they are going regularly, because most of Americans are, I would say like 80% are constipated, actually. Most people only go like once. And, if you have to, like really force yourself to go, that means you're constipated, you're not having enough water in your diet. And, then there's like colors and stuff, but, pretty much, you should be going at least once or twice, and you should not be forcing to go. It should be a very natural process. And, it's very good for the body. So, that's something that you really have to do.
But does it ruin the romance in your relationship? Does it ruin the mystery?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't suggest that, couples really go into that, That's not like a real romantic topic for couples, but for your doctor, yeah, you want to tell them the details. Especially, if for naturopathic doctors like me, you want to talk about the details about it. Regular MDs, I don't think they really care, unfortunately. I don't I don't really know any of them that ask that question. When I go to my doctor, my MD, they never really ask me about that. But it's one of my questions when I have a consultation.
I
Mhm.
mean, Dr. Oz talks about it all the time, and it's kind of gross, But he does talk about that a lot. You know, Dr. Oz on TV.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, he does. Well, he's smart. You have to talk about that because that's the main problem with a lot of people. Even Parkinson's disease, it's actually, if you do a fasting is very important, especially when it comes to digestive health and ailments, even for like diabetes, even for cancer. A lot of ailments can be solved with a fast to just give the body a chance to, assimilate, to digest and, assimilate all the backed up food. And most people, have a high stomach, big belly, because they have all of that food that has not been digested well. Maybe they eat at, let's say, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is really not a good time to eat. It might be romantic, you go out like for dinner around 8, but unless you're going for a nice leisurely stroll after the dinner, like let's say you had, I wouldn't eat steak, for example. I'm not a steak lover anyway, but I won't eat steak at 8 p.m. But a lot of people really like steak or red meat or even like chicken. But after 8, that food has to digest. So if you're having a dinner at home, a romantic meal at home at 8 p.m., which is like a normal hour where people have dinner, and then you go straight to the bedroom after, that's going to be very uncomfortable because the food has not been digested. So it's still going to sit there. So it
I'm
doesn't make
just
for
like
good
you, Dr.
loving
Oz.
either.
I'm like you. I can't do anything on a full stomach. Okay. If my stomach is full, there are limits to what I'm willing to do with my partner. And I just had this conversation with Brandy the other day. I was just like, mm-mm. And what if we have food with too much garlic? What if I'm always thinking about these things. Like my mind never stops going. So I'm like, nope, I don't. And I tell guys, like, listen, is what I listen. You want some? I don't be like, oh, finish your food. You can eat around me. No, sweetie. You want me to be light. Okay. Light, a light stomach. All right.
Exactly.
I'm like trying to
Yeah.
get down after that.
Yeah, because also it does cause like flatulence at that time, nobody wants that, at that time. So, the best thing to do would be to take a walk after you have dinner, maybe a nice romantic walk, holding hands, but most couples are lazy, I think, maybe not, but I think, like if you're having a nice romantic dinner in the house, most people wouldn't want to, finish eat. They want to finish eat and go watch TV. Most people wouldn't say, okay, let's finish eat and go take a walk.
Yeah,
But
that's
you
good.
can, right? It kind of ruins the mood, right? Like, let's eat so we could go take a walk. That would be the proper way. But even if you go up and down the steps, a couple of times, that would at least help, at least to help the food get digested, you know. But a lot of people, yeah.
A friend of mine, remember I said a friend of mine, her mother had been married for 15 years, and she felt like the the keys to a happy marriage were that they had separate toilets and they never even, dealt with that. Do you agree that that's the keys to a happy marriage?
But I think that, marriage faces so many, we face a lot of ups and downs. Marriage is under attack right now. Family is under attack in this world that we live in this era that we live in. Marriage and family are under attack. So I think that that would be the least of our worries, really, to tell you the truth. When you have the enemy, okay, this world stealing kids and stuff away from you, and, the kind of problems that marriages are going through, that is actually like the least of our concerns at this point. We just want to make sure that our spouses are regular though, so if we know that our spouses are constipated, we need to know that because that indicates a serious problem. So we want to know if you're constipated. We do want to know if our spouse has diarrhea, because that indicates
Ew,
issues.
Dr. Lloyd, really?
Yeah, you want to know these things because you want to know. You don't
Keeping
want
it
to
way
know.
too real.
Yeah, further down the line, like, oh, he always had diarrhea. Oh, that means that was something wrong with his kidneys, and I didn't even know that his kidneys were not flushing properly. Oh, now he has to get dialysis. If only I had paid attention. If only I'm sorry, we had the juice bar, and so it's a little busy here, getting things ready. So that's the noise you hear in the background. But yeah, a healthy um healthy regulating the system does, it can help with a marriage in terms of health issues that come up later, because you would be that spouse that has to go with him to dialysis or go with her to dialysis. If you had paid attention to the bathroom habits, you would have noticed a problem way before the need for dialysis. So yeah, we should pay attention. So actually, it sounded like a kind of, superficial thing, but Vaughn, it's a really good question, because I think that we should be paying attention to our spouses' um, poop patterns. We should be
Brandy
paying
does, so
attention.
she's right on the ball.
Yeah, and just Dr. Will, like, what are some things that they have two questions? So one of them is, what are some things that, like, when we poop and we look at our poop, what are some things that we should, like, if we see and notice, we should potentially, like, reach out to our doctor or, like, add something to our diet? Like, how do you know what constipated poop looks like versus healthy poop versus diuretic poop, and then what are some ways we can adjust?
I'm dying here. Ugh.
Okay, so let's start with the most gross. Okay, and then we'll bring it down a little bit. But if you see black poo, then that's very bad. That's like intensive care needed. That means emergency. Go to the doctor immediately. Run now. Go call the ambulance. If you see blood in the poo, that's indicative of also some issues going on in the poo in the human body. Um, serious issues. So we want to look for that. Now, unless you're on like iron capsules, that might cause the black poo. But if you're not, then that's a big problem if the poo is black. A lot of problems, serious problems with that color poo.
I
And
didn't know
again, the
that
blood.
happened to people.
Well, the last person I knew that had like a black poo, well, that person is like 94 and is on like lot of medications, has diabetes, complicated with heart congenital heart failure. So the heart is not working properly, you know, need for dialysis, kidney failure, kidney not functioning at all. That
Oh,
person is actually, at that point you are recommended for hospice care,
okay.
because they think that that any day, only by the grace of God, that you're surviving.
Okay.
So that's a serious one. Unless you had a beet juice that day or the day before, your poo should not have red in it. If you had a beet juice, yeah, your poo is gonna have red. So
Yeah, because
that's
I drink
normal.
juice every day.
You have a beet juice every day?
Almost every day, yeah.
Okay, so your poo must be reddish.
I don't look at it, but whatever.
But you gotta look so
Thank
that you can know.
Why?
You
I like
gotta
the
look
mystery
to
between
know.
me and the toilet. I like the mystery between me and the toilet. So,
I hear you. Makes sense. So, Randy, I hope that answered your question. Was there a part two to that question?
Yeah, well, the part two came back to when you were saying that people shouldn't eat after 8. So just think about people who have schedules that aren't necessarily traditional. Like, they don't necessarily work a 9 to 5, or like they work during the evening. So like, what's the time frame, I guess, between your last meal and then like when you should go to sleep? I guess that would be helpful for people who don't have a traditional work schedule.
Well, they say that the human body would take like at least 3 to 5 hours to digest. So if you eaten at your last meal is like say 7 or 8, and you do some stuff, you walk around a lot, you do the laundry maybe, you don't just sit and watch TV. which is a lot of people what they do. So they just sit and watch TV. That's part of the relaxation. You come home, you eat, and then you sit and watch TV, or even go back to work on your laptop. And some overworked people, and that causes stress on the body and on the mind as well. So those habits are really not good habits.
Okay.
Then one more question. What are some teas that you could drink? Say, for instance, you're constipated. Is there a tea for that? And I guess if you're a diarrhea, is there a tea to like go the other way? So the harden versus soften your poo.
Well, if you're like a person that has like a weak poo, you want to try to bulk up the poo by using like chia seeds. You can have like smoothies with chia seeds. You could also have psyllium seeds. That's also very good for bulking up the poo, so that it's not like just a bad consistency, more healthy consistency. Now, if you have like constipation, if you suffer from chronic constipation, which is a lot of people, especially people who are diabetic, because of the amount of medications that they are on, they have constipation now, which is very bad because that's how they get very fat. And so a lot of diabetic people, you notice that their stomach is very high. So when with that high stomach, it's because of the constipation. So for diabetics and for people like that who have that high stomach, a lot of green juice is recommended. A lot of like broccoli, green juice, like wheatgrass is good, cucumbers, anything green, string beans, and fiber. It has fiber and green. So all of those things are recommended so that you can start bringing that gut down. Also, it's also good to put a little bit of slippery elm in your smoothie. So if you have in a green smoothie, you could have the slippery elm. Also, you can have a little bit of senna. That helps to move the bowels exceptionally well. A little senna powder is really good in a smoothie or the green juice that you're
Okay.
drinking.
That's
Also, you want to like embark on some type of exercise program. Like a lot of people don't have the time to exercise. They don't have the time for very much. So then that causes high blood pressure, because when you don't have the time to do anything, that means that your lifestyle is going too fast, and so your blood is not it's not going to be, you need movement, not just mental movement, not just on the laptop movement, but you need actual movement, in a park, the fresh air of a park. So those are some of the things, that you can use. Dandelion is really good. It makes you go, and you can have it in your salad. Again, the salad is good because it's fiber, so everything and anything that has a lot of fiber and green, you want to use. And this will actually help you to lower the, um, to help with your problems with diabetes, with all the greens and the broccoli. That's the antidote for diabetes, actually. So it's the gut.
that's
Got
really
it. That's cool. So, Dr. Lloyd, tell us where people could find you. We always love having you here on Tea Time. Tell us like where the juice bar is, how they can find you before we end our episode today.
yes.
Okay, well, we're over here at Mother Earth Juice Bar Cafe, and we're at 11603 Metropolitan Avenue, and that's in Richmond Hill, Queens. We're also on Sutphin Boulevard in South Jamaica. And I just wrote a new book. I'd like to send you guys a copy, but it has all the tips and tricks of keeping healthy bowels, digestive help, and help for, COVID, help for, anything that you need, A to Z help naturally. So you can get that book. It's called Beyond the Organic, and it's available on Amazon, as well as you can get a signed copy from me. And the website is motherearthjuice.com. And we also just added at the Wellness Center, we added a lot of different therapies: massage therapy, ozone therapy, water therapy, which is really good when you're constipated. It's a very, very, very big part of the game is to stay hydrated. So you need half your body weight in ounces. I know that was a mouthful, but I just want to try to keep everybody as healthy as possible. So gotta drink up, put a piece of lemon in it, and drink that water up.
Nice. Cool. Thanks, Dr. Lloyd. I know I want to thank Vaughn too. I know this was a very challenging experience for her.
Woo, girl, I'm tired.
For being a trooper through this episode about food, guys. So thanks for joining us for another episode of the Easy Answer podcast, where we have thought-provoking conversations about food and help you to find simple ways to stay healthy in this crazy world. Until next time, be well.
Wow.